Good afternoon and welcome to our 36th Global Connectivity Conference on Real Estate for CIPS only. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Rules Issue of Canada, also CIPS, and also NAR CIPS instructor and owner of real estate brokerage in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. And as our friends will join us, I welcome you to our 36 Global Connectivity Conference. I'm going to share my screen and then do the presentation. And as other friends will join us, we will welcome them in our event. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and here you go. And this is where we are. As usual, this is our 36th Global Connectivity Conference, and hopefully, and the goal of Realty Coffee Talk is to create connectivity, increase awareness because consumer needs to be educated what we can provide services when we are CIPS working globally to make referrals to each other. So it's very important that we build consumer confidence in real estate, buying and selling, and also promote good ethics and business practices. This is very critical to maintain our reputation in the marketplace. So we have laws that governs, and we also have a trade organization like NAR. It has a code of ethics. Who are members of that, they need to follow those. So these are and similarly in Canada, particularly in Ontario, we have Real Estate Council of Ontario. We have a new law, TRESA, and we have a code of ethics and regulation that governs our ethical practice in the province of Ontario for consumer protection. Now, as a CIPS, the world is in your hands because Global Real Estate Professional is a very powerful global connectivity network to get to know each other. We are trying to connect people, building long-term relationship and facilitating business collaboration among its members. My goal is to ignite the spirit of connectivity, cooperation within my Global Real Estate Professional network. We have a more confidence when we're doing make a referral because we are CIPS in our respective jurisdiction. This is very important to understand. I cannot go out of Ontario to do a transaction. I have to find a partner in different jurisdiction. Similarly, if you have a client that's coming to Toronto in Ontario, I can be your referral partner, and we agree to compensation arrangement as a part of referral program. So we are professionally governed by highest professional standard and practice as CIP designee of NOR. That's our statement. Now, I am located in Toronto, in Mississauga, which is a twin city. And this is a geographic map where I cover the services. So that shows this. And if you can look at this, this is my city, but we are all connected, these areas. We are all practicing in this area. These are the region, and each region has several cities. So, for example, Mississauga is part of Peel region, and we have a Brampton and Caledon, three cities under one region. So I'm going to share with you the latest report for Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. This is the world's largest real estate board. Oh, I believe over 75,000 are members. So sale transaction in 24 compared to January 2023 increased by 37%. And I think in my previous report, I've given you the full summary of December and January. So this one is showing 37% increase in sales. So that means it's jump starting the real estate. So new listing has gone up from negative to positive now. The more listings are coming in, and it's 6.1% increase. Active listing, we have a 8.5% as compared to last year of 93,000. Now we have 9,300. Now we have 10,093. So listing increase. Average price in January in 23 was 1,036,925, and now in January is 1,000 1,000,000 26,703. So we are minus 1% at the moment, but I'm sure with the rumor that our interest rate might go down, is going to create more activities. List day on the market has increased from 29 days to 37 days because the pulse of the nation is a little bit not there. And that's why there are so many people waiting to see the interest rate go down so they can start buying it. Property on the market is 31%. It used to be 41 days now. It is now 54 days. So it's taken longer to sell. So here is a major sale average prices in major type of homes. So we're going to talk about that. So 416 is primarily Toronto area, Toronto 416. 905 are the surrounding cities like Mississauga, Milton, Oakville, Brampton, and some cities on the east side that has a 905 number. So on this side, we have a sale, and this side we have average price. So detached home, we saw, according to Toronto Regional Real Estate Board data, 342 homes were sold in 416, and 905, which is my area, they were sold 1,403, total 1,745. Now, average price in Toronto was 1,570,520 based on all detached home. It doesn't talk about one smaller bedroom, small house versus a large house. It's just an average based on total detached home transaction. So 905 was 1,297,275, and combination with two was 1,350,828. So now in SAMI, we have, considering 416 and 905, we have 343 transactions, and average price 416 was 1 million, almost 1,200,000, and 905 was 966,193. The average price between the both was 1,038,303. So, and now townhouses, they were sold 765. More was sold in 905 area, and average price was 895,307. And in 905 was 890,647. The average price between the both of them was 891,443. So condo apartment, we have 1,335 transaction between 905 and 416 area. 416 price was 709,419. It doesn't talk about the number of bedroom, just a condo unit. It could be one bedroom, or it could be 3 bedroom. So this is the average price. So I always advise our professionals to contact and consumer to contact realtors they are working with and get them a specific report on their street, or if there is a condominium on their particular property. So therefore, do you have accurate information, not average. This is across the board. So 905 was 628,375,000 a total, and average was 681,979 for a condominium apartment. So now, if you look at this year over year change, detached home, you can see a positive here. That in this is showing 27% increase in price for detached home. But if you, the transaction increased 27%. But if you look at the sale price, it is showing 0.8% increase in detached home. So remember that average price increase shows minus plus all these to give a total transaction. So that's why, if you remember that here, average price was 1% based on total transactions. Now, it's semi-detached. There was an increase In 416, 26.2%, 905, 51.9%, and average 42.9% sale increase in January 2024. But in terms of average price here, that declined minus 8.8 as compared to January 23, but 905 it increased 2.9%. So average price, go here, 1.8% for 905 and 1.8 average between the both of them. So now townhouses 42.4% increase in 416 and 57.3% in 905 area, and average 54.5. So you can see sales is going good for semi and townhouses and also detached home. Now the semi-detached was 4.3% increase average price, whereas townhouse minus 8.8. So now in 905, it was 2.9, so it's positive for townhome. Between the two is a 0.5%. Condo, look at this, 416, 46.4% increase in sales, 31.4% in 905 and 41% in average between two 416 and 905 area. But the average price increased only 0.1% in a condominium in 416 and minus 2.7% in 905, and overall between the two is minus 0.6. So I just started this new for 23 and 24 comparison. So you can see that our sale has increased 37% compared to January 23, but our average price is minus 1%. So as we go along, we'll keep adding these months and we will have an average idea what's going on. So in terms of projection from Canadian Real Estate Association, they are showing in 24, we will be below 500,000, but higher than 400,000. But we're going to look at the figure. But 25 projections are that we're going to be higher than 500,000. So here is a sales activity forecast. So Canada-wide, we're expected 10.4% increase across Canada. And in 25, they're expected forecasting 7.3%. So I am in Toronto, which is in Ontario. So they are projecting the sale will increase 13.9% across Canada in Ontario, and 6.7% in 25. So and you can see the other cities are also increasing. So this is the highest we can see in Ontario. Alberta going to have an increase of 11% sale, and Nova Scotia has 13.2% increased sale. Okay. So now we're going to look at the forecasting average price. So we were minus 3.6 across Canada in 2023, but we are projecting 2.3% in 2024 and 4% in 2025 across Canada. In Ontario, we are expected to have a 0.5%. This is a forecasting from Canadian Real Estate Association, because they collect the data across Canada, because they control MLS data. And this data does not include any property that are sold out of the MLS system, private sale, or sold by the builders. So this does not cover that. So we are expecting 0.5% increase in 24 and 3.5% in 2025. So this is a projection, and you can see that Quebec is 3% increase, and New Brunswick has a 3.9, and Nova Scotia is showing a tremendous progress, 4.3% increase. And look at the Alberta, 6.3% increase. So if you look at this increase here, Alberta has the highest projection forecasting for increase of average price, 8.8%. Okay, you know that we talk about as a prohibition on the purchase of residential by non-Canadian. And the government of Canada has extended the ban from 24 to 27 because they think by putting this ban again for the foreign buyers will create more opportunity for the local buyers to buy the property. So now, as you know, anyone now, there is some exemptions. If you have a work permit and you're a non-Canadian, you can purchase a home here in Ontario. As long as you meet the eligibility requirement, which is 183 days or more, non-Canadian must be 183 days or more living in Canada to purchase a home. There is a restriction, and not a restriction, but there is a non-speculation tax for the non-residents, which is 25%. You have to pay, and that really creates a hindrance for anyone to buy it, because if you pay 25% non-speculation tax in Ontario, that creates a lot of difficulty for the foreign residents to buy, especially who are eligible to buy it. And land development project, land zone for residential and mixed use, including residential development, are allowed by non-citizen. And I request that you always consult with a lawyer and accountant to look at the your obligation or your client's obligation when they're buying and selling in Canada. Private corporation threshold, it used to be foreign controlled 3%, now it's been changed to 10%. And there is a penalty for any real estate professional or anyone selling property to non-qualified, non-eligible residents. And this is why it's very important to understand. So I'm going to show you there is a restriction, and always they complain about the foreigners are buying it. So if you look at this chart, estimated foreign buyers. So if you look at the chart here, and white horse 5.1% buyer, Yellowknife 2.7%, BC, British Columbia 4.7%, and Vancouver is the hot 6.2% foreign buyers are buying property, Manitoba, and Winnipeg is, Manitoba is 2.7%, Winnipeg is 2.6%, Ontario, across Ontario is 3.4%, very negligible, and Toronto is 4%. New Brunswick, 5.6%. Nova Scotia, 5.6%. St. John, 5.6%. And Halifax, 4.1%. And these are the percentage of estimated foreign buyers in Canada based on these figures or similar information. Our federal government put a ban on foreign buyers.
Don't color.
So, and this is why we're going to talk about the other areas. So now, if you are familiar with this foreign buying process, I put together this deal, a template before we talk about selling these houses. And this is very important for all of you to remember that there are necessary steps that you have to achieve success in and buying foreign. So prepare your buyer checklist, very important. Share listing data sheets with people. Prepare an estimate of closing costs, because I don't know what the closing costs are in your area. So if you have a template, you can use that. And also advertising a property in anywhere, particularly in Ontario, we need a consent for advertisement. And we have a world's largest MLS system to Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. And I've been extremely busy. I have some queries that I need to send some form, and then we can publish your listing in our MLS system. Obviously, we use NOR standard referral agreement and fees we negotiate between us and jurisdiction and due diligence. As a part, when you receive compensation from referring a deal to a professional, CIPS, I have a ethical, legal obligation to perform due diligence to make sure when I'm making a referral to a CIPS partner that I feel comfortable that I'm doing my part. And this is very important, is required because you are being compensated for your work. Again, buying a real estate process in Ontario, you make a refer to CIPS partner. I'm your partner in Toronto, and we search properties for the clients, and we go through the introduction program. Now we have a TRESA, and under TRESA, we have a designation program. That means the buyer will have to designate a person or use as a brokerage representation. So we explain quite a bit of that on my previous episode is on my YouTube channel. So, and then we make the offer on behalf of the buyer. So when satisfying the mortgage appraisal and inspection conditions, and send APS, agreement of purchase and sale, and relevant documents to lawyer for completion of transaction. In Canada, particularly in Ontario, lawyer will do the closing because the money that is collected stays in trust. A deposit that is made to a brokerage stays with the brokerage during transaction, and the brokerage send invoice, and then if there is a surplus money that is given to the seller. Lender sends funds directly to the buyer's lawyer, whoever the lawyer is. We have many lawyers part of our team. You can and we can help. So lawyer will transfer the deed and register mortgage. There is a title insurance program that means to avoid any title fraud. So the buyer money is protected, and no lawyer works without the title insurance. So that is part of the process that we go through, and we work with with the lawyers. Now, important things to remember: doing estimated closing cost, non-residents and foreign buyer pay speculation tax, withholding money to get clearance from CRA, and speculation tax is 25%. If you're non-residents and you're eligible to buy, you have to pay 25%. And if you become a permanent resident, there is a rebate program. So we have to talk to an accountant how this is going to work, and we have a list of lots of qualified accountant, and we can explain to you. Now, withholding money to get clearance from CRA, because when a foreigner sells a property and there is a capital gain, a profit, then the lawyer will hold the money and get a clearance certificate from CRA, and tax are paid, and the balance is given to the seller. And we always recommend to consult with a chartered professional accountant to look at the taxation implication, and obviously consultation with the lawyer, barrister, or solicitor to understand the legal implications. Foreign buyer can buy property and secure mortgage. Yes, they can do that, but not the residence. Depends on it. There could be multiple units, let's say 10 units. Commercially is allowed. But if you are buying one unit house, no, it will not be allowed unless you qualify under the exempt rule. So buying real estate is not related to immigration. It's a separate process. So you have to make sure that your client knows that they want to buy a property in Canada, but they're not going to, they have to go through immigration process separately. We have lots of lawyers that we can recommend to you if your client is willing to apply for immigration. So, and tonight at 7 p.m., I will be on Awaz Entertainment. We have ins and outs of real estate investing. I have a very young, bright and brilliant lawyer, Taimur Shah. He's a managing partner in Shah Shaw and Shaw lawyers. We will be explaining lots of ins and outs of real estate investing, and it will be 7 p.m. You can call 647-484-0008 and ask questions. I think I have shared the information on my Global Real Estate Professional Network Facebook, so you can join. It is on Awaz ENT, IPTV, Awaz, AWAZ, net, ENT.com, but they have a Awaz ENT 580 if you're using this IPT program, and is on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, live simultaneously. So if you are interested to learn about legal process here, investing, you can join me tonight. So as you know, so real estate and mortgage brokerage, we have over 400 episodes. You can join them. And this is very important to let you know that that we, myself, Andrea Caper, Dana Gibson, we have arranged this a tour for Trade Mission, and anyone who wants to join us, please. We have a special interest, special rates from the hotel across from the Realty Realtor Quest from Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. So people will be coming on 13, 14, 13, 11, fall on 13. I have arranged with Tried Out to show some projects, and some lunches will be served. And obviously, you have to get prepared for your expenses, personal expenses, hotel expenses, and transportation. And depending on the number of people, we will be helping it. So if you have any question, please join us. And if you have not joined my Global Real Estate Professional Network on Facebook, please join. And again, our next 27th Global Connectivity Conference will be held on Thursday, 28 March at 1 p.m. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, feel free to call me. I really appreciate you joining. If anyone is available now to speak, please let me know. I can answer your questions. Or anyone you want to speak, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Ida, are you there? Janet, Carolina? So if you don't have any question, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on our next conference uh, on uh, in March. Our Realty Coffee Talk Global Connectivity Conference is held last Thursday of each month. Thank you, and have yourself a wonderful day. Bye for now.